Thank you guys for making the Black Gold Solutions live stream new candidate interview. Today we're interviewing Brother Lloyd Ford, who is a candidate for the Business Development Department for the Black Gold election. As usual, we're having our Brother Ian, who's the host of the interview. He's going to ask Brother Lloyd a series of questions. Brother Lloyd is going to answer, and if any of us have any other questions during the interview, we will post those and Brother Ian will ask. So we're going to hand it over to Brother Ian Banu, and he's going to take the interview from here, and let's have at it.
All right. First of all, good evening, everyone. And you are looking at Black Gold Movement and a Business Development Department candidate. And I'd like to say welcome and start the questions. First question. Mr. Lloyd, as it relates to the department you're seeking to lead, what is the situation of how Black people exist in this arena?
I would say pretty much the biggest way of how Black people exist in this arena, I use a scenario as in Houston, Texas, as how we do business. A lot of the contracts, a lot of the things that we get as minority business certified businesses, we don't get those things. We get less than 1% just in this city alone, and less than 1%, like 0.6 in the nation. So I think as far as when it comes to that, I think we have to be consolidated on our efforts as far as a lot of these businesses, because they use the excuse of not being able to find us, we not having insurance, us not having to be able to the payroll to pay people a net 30, a net 45 in order to get these contracts and things done. And even I'll take a little bit further, even the if they do get a subcontractor job, it's no regulation or regulator regulating to make sure that they keep these Black-owned businesses on staff. You know, they could go ahead, get them just to get the contract, the minority contract, then kick them off, you know, at the drop of a hat. And there's nobody there to make sure that this type of thing is not happening.
Wow.
So I would say that's one of the things in business arenas for us Black people that we're just not getting it done.
Yeah. And I want to say, and why do you think that's the case? But I think we all kind of know why that's the case. I don't think we have to argue at this point. Right? We don't have to argue that at this point. So what would be some viable solutions overall, if you think there's some viable solutions beyond sort of doing a really strong consolidation and doing our own business? What are your immediate thoughts as far as solutions that you've come up with for you?
I would say this: it's already big Black-owned businesses, developers that do business in this city that get these contracts, that do these things, but we don't hold them accountable as far as taking on some of our lower end Black-owned businesses to help get this work done. So I would think that if we held them accountable in order to get our business, that they take on some of our smaller business, at least not, you know, we're not saying give them money or give them help or anything in the way, but give them their just due in order to help them get to that level where they can fend for their sales and go for those contracts, because it's more than enough for all of us. You know, they just don't have the necessary knowledge to know how to do it. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Actually, I think it comes down to that in a lot of major cities. And if the larger Black businesses don't reach back,
for sure,
then you don't have any ladder. You don't have anything to work with. So yeah, I can definitely get that. So okay, here's another one. Why are you running as a candidate for Business Development Department? What do you think that is unique to you that you bring to this party?
I feel like kind of with my own group that I already have, Creative Group Economics, it's about bringing Black-owned businesses, about bringing Black-owned minds together. You know, we deal with a whole bunch of other groups, the Black Investment Syndicate, you know, just other Black-owned organizations where your skin is your ticket in. And we feel like that is the way to do. So if we're not participating in a partnership, if we're not thinking about these things constantly, then we're not going to succeed. And we got to realize that all of these larger companies, as in white companies, they use Creative Group Economics in order to get things done. And we got to know that that is the way to go. But we all think that that solo person is going to get the shine, get everything, get all the glitter and gold. But we got to know that it's enough for everybody. And, you know, once we realize that, then we'll start reaching back a little bit more.
Sure. Now, do you think we could do you see us being able to create and support our own internal economy one day? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible. It's possible, but I'll put it like this: it takes enough.
Stop giving our money away.
Yeah, it takes movements like us, but it takes this going on, like you say, simultaneously everywhere. We have to let people know, on our platforms, we got to keep pushing. We can't think at one point in time that we can't make it. And like I say, our philosophy with our group is 600 people getting $20 a month. That's $12,000. So, what could you do with that? And that's just 600 people. It's over, it's about 1 million Black people just in Houston alone. Why aren't we doing things? Not only if we wanted to consolidate our dollars, but if we wanted to do that, in order for us to do that, we have to know where each other are. We have to know where our businesses are so we can patronize and fight away that stigma that we don't want to be called a Black-owned business. It's not to label you just a Black-owned business, but we want to let Black people know where you are,
To bring that money, to bring that support.
For sure, when we need to.
Yeah. So as a millennial, as a younger person, because I'm always thinking about that the generations. Do you feel, looking at your generation and generations after, that you have a better handle on things, or you can see more clearly what the lay of the land is than sometimes older people can? What's the difference generationally?
I say the difference generationally is that we're just closer to the generation coming up behind us. I think that's what it comes down to. In a few years, if I don't do anything, then I will be that generation that's left out, and I wouldn't be able to reach it, as good as somebody that would be my age. So I just think it's a kind of, I could see myself phasing out myself by the music and stuff that they listen to. I'm starting not to like it more and more. So when it comes to stuff like that,
no, nigga, you got that thing.
He's growing up.
He's growing up.
They say your wokeness is seeping through. It's just sometimes. But I feel like that's the biggest stigma, is just generationally knowing that people behind you. And I feel like I just know them a little bit better than you guys will, so I can reach them just a tad bit better when it comes to technology, when it comes to talking their language, when it comes to things that they like. I feel like I'll just relate to them just a little bit better.
Absolutely. Now I try to keep up as much as possible, because I have my young friends, and I treasure them, because I think that you need to be attached to the old and the young. What's in front of you and what's behind you, know it well, and if you can do that, it allows you a lot of bandwidth. So it's good to hear that from you. In your own words, and I think you've already talked about this a little bit, how important is this election? Like, I can probably say for me how important it is, to have that. You mentioned it. You said infrastructure, where you're creating a place for people to come to and say, all right, I can know that I can support my own here. I can send my money here, or I can send my attention here, and I know where it's going.
Right.
That's what I kind of think. But what's your thoughts on that?
I think when it comes to, I bring it back to my own organization. I think it comes to just full transparency, knowing where you put your money, because a lot of people not knowing, at our meetings, I give a list of who's giving, who's ever given. I email a spending report out just to let people know where your money is going. This is what it's doing, because sometimes it gets a stigma, especially these days, of not knowing where your stuff is going and knowing if it's actually going towards Black-owned businesses or going towards what you say is going towards.
Absolutely.
And even a lot of Black-owned platforms today say, hey, this is for Black-owned businesses, but to sell slots to Mama's Kitchen, but it ain't my mama. It ain't your mama, and I feel like we just got to keep combating things. We can't let the almighty dollar always cloud our judgment. We sometimes got to take the values first, and until we get that in our minds, I feel like it is always going to be a backfight. But don't get me wrong, we want to catch those people as well, but we want to get the people that's already in our mind and thinking in our mind frame to help us push it to where we need to be. Because no movement, we don't need a lot of people.
Sure, absolutely.
Let me add to that, brother Ian. let me add to one of the things that I've been impressed with about Brother Lloyd is that he does take a strong leadership role in the meetings that I've been a part of. Every single meeting that I've been to has been well organized. He's had an agenda. He's known what he wants to do. They've been well attended for the most part. And in the very first meeting I attended, I was extremely surprised and impressed that he did pass around a piece of paper showing where the money is going.
Yes.
And even more impressive than that is that Lloyd is based in Houston, but he has people from other cities around the country who not only want to be a part, but are also giving him money to do what he's trying to do. So my whole idea, well, not my whole idea, but an idea that I have of getting Black people to we can tax ourselves and give money on a monthly basis. This is what this young brother is doing.
Nice.
So he is not just talking about doing stuff; he's actually doing it. And that's a big deal, as you know, when it comes to Black people, because we talk a lot about doing a lot, but this brother is actually doing it, and not just that, but he's very professional on wanting everyone to know exactly what's what, not trying to hide anything, trying to be clear, trying to be methodical, and taking care of all the business on the back end to ensure all the paperwork is in place.
Sure.
So he is very. He's done a very good job of making sure that he's a professional across the board in as many ways as he can to make sure his organization is moving forward. That's a very good thing. Yeah. Better take care of business.
Thank you.
And he has a nice beard, very nice beard.
There you go. and how much you paying Tamani for that?
Hey, this is the promotion.
Hey, you have to answer that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, how much
you
you
mean?
paying?
Hey, people always ask
Tamani
me,
was like, Brother Lloyd, and wait, there's more.
hey, people always ask me, oh, how you get your beard like that? I tell them it's 3 easy letters, D-N-A. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's it, right?
There you go. See, I had to go. Oh, okay. In this, Brother Lloyd, if you have to say, what is my greatest challenge when I think of doing what I do on a national level? What is the challenge that immediately comes to my brain that I go, ooh, that's going to be hard? What is that thing within us nationally that rubs you wrong? That you would think that I need to get us over this hump?
Combating egos.
Yeah.
Big. Yes. Yeah.
And I say that because, especially the age that we're in, with social media, with everything that we do, it's a show.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're not able to keep up with that show, no matter the good that you're doing, you get lost in the shuffle. Yeah. So, you'll get overshadowed by somebody doing completely nothing.
Yes.
I had something back in the day, me and my friend, we're working, we're doing everything. And somebody said, hey, what is your friend doing? I was like, who? They was like, well, I see him on social media. He's shining. Y'all need to do whatever he doing. But they didn't know his situation. Didn't know we was in a way better situation. That shows you what people see starting to become. And that was when it got started. It's way worse now.
It's way worse.
We're about 100 more reality shows in.
Yes.
And, once they done said that you can be a nobody and you can act the fool and you can get rich doing it, they started the epidemic, everybody is somebody on social media. And I think that we have to realize that those likes and those followers don't equal dollars. And once we realize that, we'll be in a better place. And I tell people, I always go read a book called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And it is relative because it tells you about writing your business plan rather than starting the Instagram first, it's just a way of thinking, of putting your steps in order. And I feel like that's how we have to think at all times.
Sure. And I think that I think when you talk about that, especially as far as ego is concerned, I think it helps. Ego keeps people from working together.
For sure.
And we really all just need to work together. We need to take all our resources and bring them together and go, oh, you're going in that direction too? Grab my hand. We going.
Right.
But everybody wants to sort of be their own. Yeah, they want to be their own Instagram Sean. No, wait, selfie. I'm doing a selfie. You're doing no. It's not about that. It's really about feet on the ground, holding each other's hand and pulling it up. And I think we've lost we've lost a generation to media, maybe.
I'll say this. That's the reason why my group, you'll hear nobody saying, hey, I got this position or I got this position. We all one. You won't hear me saying, oh, hey, I'll be conducting meetings, but you won't hear me say, hey, I'm the founder or I'm doing this. I feel like I don't care if you've been at one meeting or 15 meetings. If you have a better idea is a better idea,
Right.
And I feel like as long as we come with that, I done been to a couple of the organizations I see that we need, people have those titles, but they don't know really what they do. And I feel like sometimes that creates a problem if we don't really have a clear goal, a clear understanding, and a clear direction on what we're going to do and who's going to do it. You know, and that creates a lot more friction.
Sure. That's a good one. Here we go. What areas or sections would you look at getting into this department? How do you see Black people benefiting on a national level? I think we kind of went through that one. But if you had unlimited resources, and you had to just form a department, what are the sections of that department? What would the department look like? Like, what do you think would be necessary? Huh?
It'd be a technology incubator. I'll be bringing together all the different minds, and each business, each product that we develop will just be taking a percentage of, maybe 3%, and we'll incubate them between 1 and 4 years. Cool. And just make sure they're on the way to go and developing a product as we go, and just developing a household brand of incubated businesses, Black owned.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I have another part of that.
That's I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
That is a very powerful idea, and I'm often how do I say it makes me feel good, and I know that I am on the right track when someone that I just met or someone that I'm just meeting or talking to has the exact same idea that I have. Mm-hmm. What Brother Lloyd has said is a big part of what we want to do, in that we want to make sure that whenever a Black person has a new idea, a new invention, a new app, a new whatever, they come to us first as their investing partner. And like Lloyd just said, as the investing entity or the funding entity behind that person, the nation owns a percentage of whatever they do. So it's in our best interest to make sure that they have the right incubation, they got the right financial backing, the right management, the right support. So as they grow and become successful, we, the organization, and we, the nation, also grow. So if you can imagine, if Uber was Lloyd's idea, and Lloyd came to the nation first and said, okay, I need $1, $2, $3, $4 million to make this happen, then we support Lloyd in that business investment. And then as he grows, we grows, and the profits, of course, he benefits because it's his business, but the Black nation, the Black community, Black children also benefit. And that's why it's so vitally important that we create a nation that has so many different avenues to ensure that we are moving forward and that we're successful. And of course, business is a big part of that. But if we can create an investing entity that can support our Black excellence that's out there all the time trying to find money, then it puts everybody in a better position. Go ahead, Lloyd.
I was going to say this too. When we do this all around the nation already, the NAACP do this in almost every state, the AXO program. And guess what? We find all this great talent, get all these great businesses, and we throw them back. Oh, thank you. You did a good job. Give them a hand clap, and that was great. But we're not doing nothing actively to make sure. And, what they're doing, and guess what? They take that talent, they take that idea to a white incubator, a white person, and guess what? They give them the money, and guess what? It's all business. It's a race to the running. And, from that on, they're disconnected from the Black community. They're disconnected from giving back to us, because guess what? When they had it and they needed that handout, we wasn't there to give it. Right. I feel like we got to be on the front lines at all times. We have college people hitting us up, from U of H, from PV to TSU about products and about things that they want to do. And if we can't help them cultivate, then they have to go somewhere else. Right. So, we want to be that cultivator for each and everything that we do. And that's why I'm working on a hub here in Houston right now to build our Black-owned businesses and have that talent here. That way we can say we're doing it and not just talking about doing it.
Absolutely. So you're the founder of the group, Creative Group Economics. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Pretty much, we was founded on the whole idea. Like I said, 600 people giving $20 a month.
Nice.
It's $12,000. So we was like, what can we do with that? So we each started to give the $20 a month. And, you know, I started building a website. You know, I started getting our Black-owned businesses, putting them on there. I was literally going door to door, you know, and the crazy thing, a lot of our business didn't even believe me. Like, yeah, sure, free. You know, so I had to go back 2 or 3 times just to get them to sign up, and even that still wasn't good enough. I ended up having to sign them up myself.
Sure.
But we use that to fund our app. We have free advertising for all the mobile businesses where you can put your events and stuff on there. Even businesses that donate the $30 to the business a month, which they can stop at any point in time. I help them build their websites. I'm building like 10 websites right now, help them develop it, get that online presence. We didn't have business classes each week to help businesses know if they want to be LLC, sole proprietorship, C Corp, S Corp, you know, just that background knowledge. We've taken kids, had different programs, taking them to the SWAC championships where they could see, you know, HBCU games, just a wide variety of things. But we want to basically use this platform to highlight all our Black-owned businesses. We don't want to reinvent the wheel either. So we're looking to partnership with other places, other businesses that's doing these apps, that's doing this Black-owned directory. You know, I'm reaching out to all of them. We had the Texas Black Pages, you know, on our podcast, Black Kings podcast, and we just want to make connections everywhere because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like you say, we have to work together, and that's the easiest.
Work together. Yeah. But yeah, when you started saying, I was like very much like the old Black Pages, reimagined on a different front, you know, because it's got to be everything. It's got to be apps. It's got to be all of that. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Let's see. All right, this is one of the last questions. I always like it. And you can. I guess we can have spoilers. What do you think about the Black Panther movie and how it impacts us right now? Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it. To be honest, I liked it, but to be honest, it kind of made me mad.
It made a lot of people mad, but
it made me, but it made me mad in the sense of, you know, he couldn't get with Killmonger. He couldn't deal and see his pain with Black people, and I feel like it was unacceptable to go to war for Black people. But then at the end, you kind of want to come out and say, hey, we're going to share this technology with the world. And I was like, why? Every other country, every other place use the technology and the things, discoveries of their land first until they got out, and then they shared it later. You know, so I kind of agree with more of I agree with him starting the stuff and the centers in the United States, but I wouldn't agree with just sharing it willy-nilly with everybody. I would make sure that Black people are good first, and then we'll go as we come from there, you know. But I still would have had to keep Killmonger by my side because I feel like you need them.
Well, I did have an issue that they made him irredeemable.
Yeah, his anger, you know, they made his anger.
And in a lot of ways, it's very true. I mean, we can get to a point in our revolutionariness that we're irredeemable to that which we really want. We will even tear down that which we want in the end. So I get that, but I wish he had been redeemable enough to come home.
I would say this. I kind of had a thing on our part. Sometimes when you get woke, you kind of get mad at everybody when you know all the that's going on. Constantly. And you do what you're doing in the community. Like, we all have to be doing our own personal aspects, and you know, everybody is not going to work together. So I feel like with that in mind, we all like a Killmonger until where you can't see the end and go, where he was destroying his own country in the same detriment of.
I mean, he was destroying the very thing that he regretted having. How do you do that? You know, how do you do that? But that's where that rate goes. Yeah,
but you know, I think a good lesson in that, in the character Killmonger, that misplaced aggression, where he is so upset and he's so angry at at what has happened to his people, and what Wakanda could have done, and he wanted to destroy all of it. He wasn't trying to say, okay, well, you guys did this the wrong way, so let's work together to right these wrongs. He was like, all y'all got to go. Yeah. And I'm going to take it over, and we're going to go, we'll give you these weapons to all these people of color around the world, and we're going to wage war on everybody. So it's like his anger, he was so upset that rage clouded his judgment as to what could be if he were to just try and get with T'Challa and work with Wakanda to make things better for people of color around the world. So that's a very a realistic issue we have in the community, because a lot of brothers and sisters are upset, angry, pissed off, hurt, and they have no viable, structured, organized, methodical, intelligent avenue by which to express that anger,
right?
And use that anger, use that energy for something positive. And I think that's one of the reasons what we're doing, the Black Gold movement, what Lloyd is doing with CEG, is so important, because we need to create these avenues by which Black people can plug into something that's positive, that's reinforcing, that's African, that's moving in the direction that the end result, our own Wakanda, if you will, our own nation within the nation, is viable, realistic. They can see it and get on board with it. So I think Killmonger as a character, there's a lot of lessons there, and I think we can learn a lot from that, and see Black people today. I think one of the reasons young brothers join gangs, because they want acceptance, they want love, they want family, they want purpose. We got amen property. We got all that right here. Mine is the white man's cage. We just gotta make sure people know about it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I add that to Killmonger as a character. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But no, I agree with all of that. I think it's a very, very strong. I think we'll be debating it for a while.
Yeah.
And I think we can take a lot of lessons from it and find out what works. Here's a question, Lloyd. It just popped up in my head. What is the difference for you, or have you perceived a difference between what is Anglo-European economics and African economics? Is there a difference?
I wouldn't say it's a difference, because when I think of creative group economics, I see us working with all Black people, regardless of what you believe or anything. My only requirement is, do you care about the advancement and empowerment of Black people, and that's pretty much my goal, is to bring together. I feel like we too long let too many things divide us into too many subcategories, and that way we can't, coincide together. And I feel like we can't let that divide us any longer, because nobody else does.
Yes.
Everybody else, they take their rapists, they take their everything. Not saying that's what we need to do, but I'm just saying, if they can unite to that degree, at least can we take all our good people? You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
at least that's enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. That's all my questions. Anything else, Tamani?
No, I'm good.
Good. All right, April.
Well.
Yeah, I think I have one question.
Sure.
Let's see. Now, you had mentioned the idea of incubators.
Right.
Is there, in your mind, is there a type of business that you see as being the most important to start, or to be open to supporting?
Right now, I would say we're working on a big beauty supply movement. So I would say that's the biggest thing. So everywhere we see one Chinese beauty supply, we want to see one Black one,
Right.
And I feel like we shouldn't shy away from the competition. We need to be putting them right on the side and letting people know this is a Black one, this is the one you're trying to go into. And I feel like we can't do that anymore. So I feel like we don't need to shy away from businesses. So that is something that we know we have to buy, and we know women are going to buy.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
you just see it already with Rihanna's makeup. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I think that all of the there are things that Black people are going to buy. You know, especially other ethnicities. They come in our neighborhood, and you know they're going to set up shop in certain ways because they know that's where our money's going. And I think it is important for us to begin to capitalize on that and redirect that money back at us, since we're going to be spending it anyway. You know, why? You know, we should be making all our own hair and all our own tennis shoes and all our own cars. You know, it's like we know we're going to spend money on these things.
Right.
So we should already have those industries down. I don't know why we don't. You know, it's like, really? We too used to giving it away. Raining, we make it rain. Make it rain on everybody but us. Just make it rain.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So that has to change. That does have to change. But okay, I'm gonna hand it off back to you, Tamani.
Okay, April, you don't have any more questions, right? You good?
Well, you may have addressed this already. Just real quick, going real quick back to the Black Panther. In that movie, let's see. There are a lot of positive things that we saw, but do you see lessons, on the other hand, of what not to do in terms of business development? Is that question?
Say that one more time.
Okay. If you're looking at the movie as a lesson, there are a lot of lessons on what to do and how to proceed in different arenas. But can you also look at it as a way of, in terms of business development, of what not to do in order to develop business?
One thing I know not to do is, one thing I know is I let people tell me how serious they are when it comes to when it comes to businesses and stuff like that. A lot of risk, things of that nature. Just a lot of people will tell you, exactly how serious they are about their business, organized. And I realized that, devil's in the details. And a lot of people I realize in business don't care about the details. And that's why a lot of businesses kind of fail. I don't know if this is answering your question, but I would feel like the biggest failures is lack of planning. We don't plan enough. We don't organize enough. We try to get out there and go as fast as you can, but sometimes that's not the way to go. I think is the more research we did and what we want to do, it'd just be better off. I feel like we got to know our market. We got to know our competition.
Right.
We got to know everything about them, and we got to know what we're going to do, about it. But that's the biggest thing, is knowing what we have and what we need to do about it.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, if no one else has any more questions, that would conclude our Black Gold Solutions candidate interview with Brother Lloyd Ford. Brother, we thank you for making time for this evening. And and we were probably, I'm thinking as we're talking, I'm thinking about all of the, we have about maybe 10 or 12 ambassadors from around the country that are coming on board. And I'm wondering if we need to do this again so that they can not only meet you, hear from you, ask you questions, but let other people know about your candidacy and everything else. So I'm going to discuss that with Sister April and Brother Em, and we may ask you to come back again and do this again, and we will let you know. But we just want to thank you for taking the time to be a part. As you already know, as far as what we're concerned, this is a must-do for Black people, finding Black people around the country who are doing things, who are ready, willing, and able to teach other Black people how to do those things in the areas that they are strong in. You are most certainly one such person in the area of business. And I didn't say this, and you guys don't know this, but Lloyd has a very, 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 very strong background in IT. The brother is a programmer and can do things in that arena. So he can most certainly be a dual threat, if not a dual candidate. So we'll continue to talk about that on the side, Lloyd, you and I, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, so I want to thank you, brother. No, you're good, man. So thank you again, brother, for making time for the interview. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Sister April, for doing what you do. Thank you, Brother Em. And we'll see you guys soon with the next interview, which should be our next candidate for the education department, which would be Brother Jay Vandelay, I think. So we'll find it soon enough. So anyway, thank you guys for making time. We'll be in touch. Take care. Thank you. God bless.
Everybody